Ever feel like the more you chase a connection, the faster it runs away? You ask, "So, how are you?" and the energy just evaporates. Yet someone else enters the room, says almost nothing, and somehow commands total attention. It's not about their looks, their humor, or their volume. It is something quieter. When they speak, the room shifts. Their words carry mass. The secret isn't about talking more. It's about saying less, but signifying everything. The Stoic philosophers grasped this truth millennia ago. Presence beats performance every time. Here are 6 phrases and one crucial mindset that draw people in without the need for tricks, masks, or games. Principle 1, tell me more about that. 5 words that unlock doors most people leave bolted shut. Picture this, someone mentions they just started painting. Most people's instinct, they hijack the moment. "Oh, my cousin paints," or "I took an art class once." Instantly, the spotlight swivels back to their own ego. The connection severs. Now imagine you simply say, "Tell me more about that," and then you do the hardest thing of all, you wait. You listen to absorb, not to respond. We live in a world starved for genuine attention. When you offer it, you become unforgettable. As Epictetus taught, nature gave us 1 tongue and 2 ears, so we could hear twice as much as we speak. Listening isn't just silence, it is an act of respect. It says, "You are worth my quiet." People won't leave the conversation thinking you are fascinating. They will leave feeling fascinated by themselves, and that is why they will return. Principle 2, I don't know. 3 words that terrify the insecure. When asked about a topic they don't grasp, most people scramble, they bluff, they use buzzwords, they hide. But the mask always slips. The eyes dart, the voice wavers, trust evaporates. Contrast that with the person who looks you in the eye and calmly says, "I don't know." No shame, no stutter. This raw honesty shifts the dynamic. If they are truthful about what they don't know, you can bet your life on what they do know. Socrates famously noted that true wisdom lies in knowing you know nothing. Knowledge starts where the ego ends. Weakness pretends to be an expert. Strength is comfortable being a student. Admitting ignorance isn't a defeat. It's a power move that makes people lean in when you finally do have an answer. Principle 3, that sounds difficult. When a friend confesses a struggle, a divorce, a firing, a loss, your reflex is to fix it. Have you tried this? Well, at least it's not that. You intend to help, but you deliver judgment. You are dismissing their pain to make yourself comfortable. Instead, try, that sounds difficult. You aren't solving the puzzle, you are witnessing the person. Marcus Aurelius reminded us to be strict with ourselves, but tolerant with others. Most of us do the reverse. We judge others and excuse ourselves. Real power is gentle. By validating their struggle without trying to sanitize it, you create a safe harbor. They don't need your strategy, they need your stillness. Principle 4, the power of the pause. This is the most potent and the most feared tool in the arsenal. Most people treat silence like an enemy. If the conversation lags for 2 seconds, they panic. They throw out nervous jokes or meaningless filler. They think silence is empty. In reality, silence is heavy. Observe a person who is truly grounded. They rarely speak, but when they do, the room stops. Their silence acts as a framing device, signaling that whatever comes next is essential. Seneca observed that silence is a discipline learned through hardship. Those who are at peace with their own thoughts do not fear the quiet. They know it is full of observation, full of intent. Stop running from the pause, let it sit. When you speak only when necessary, your words stop being noise and start being signal. Principle 5, I appreciate you. A phrase that cuts deeper than thanks. Thank you is a transaction, it acknowledges a service. Thanks for the ride, thanks for the email. I appreciate you acknowledges the soul. It says, I see the person behind the action. When you tell someone, I appreciate you, you validate their existence, not just their utility. Marcus Aurelius would start his days by mentally thanking the people in his life, not for what they provided, but for who they were. He knew that seeing the good in others keeps the good alive in us. Don't overuse it, but when someone shows real character, integrity, loyalty, patience, say it. In a culture obsessed with output, noticing someone's humanity is a radical act. Principle 6, know. The shortest sentence and the strongest boundary. The world begs for your time, and often you say yes out of guilt, out of habit, out of fear of being disliked. But realize this, every yes to the trivial is a no to the essential. You are stealing from your own peace. Epictetus warned us to first learn who we are, and then act accordingly. If your yes is automatic, it is worthless. Watch the person who has mastered their own life. When asked for a favor, they pause, they evaluate, and if it doesn't align, they decline, without a long apology, without a lie. No. This clarity breeds respect. When people know your no is solid, they value your yes immensely. Boundaries do not destroy relationships, they purify them. They filter out the users and keep the respecters. The takeaway. Curiosity, honesty, validation, silence, appreciation, boundaries. These aren't hacks, they are habits of character. They don't ask you to perform, they ask you to be present. Be interested enough to listen, secure enough to admit ignorance, kind enough to validate pain, strong enough to hold silence, aware enough to value people, and brave enough to protect your time. The Stoics knew that attraction isn't about accumulation. It is about elimination, removing the noise, the anxiety, the desperate need for approval. When you stop trying to impress, people finally start to see you. If this perspective shifted your thinking, let me know. Which of these phrases will you test out today?